Hello, I hope these following videos you find of interest. The world is in chaos as far as economics go, and we all know, most of us in our lifetime, how it's gone. It's been tough for many people. A lot of people lost money, investments, etc. These videos are just simply to show you ways to maybe produce your own power, solar power, and produce some of your own food, and how to prepare those foods. So I hope you find them interesting. So each one will be a bit different, and if you enjoy them, leave a comment. If you don't enjoy them, leave a comment as well. But I hope you do enjoy them. Thank you. Bacon, cheese and onion dinner rolls. Okay, the ingredients are going to be obviously bacon, cheese, this is dried onion or dried shallots, yeast, butter, salt, water, which is not hot, not cold, it's tepid. That's going to be for the yeast. Measuring jug, little thing to actually coat a little bit of covering on top of the buns before I put the cheese, onion and bacon on. A pot and a bowl. So let's get started. Right, the first thing we're going to do is make the butter and the milk solution. So we're just going to put that on quite low. All we want to do, I'm going to use about a tablespoon of butter. It's going to go in there. It's going to gently melt. Need to get some milk. Okay. It's just starting to melt nicely on. You can see it's a very low heat. Just want the butter to melt. And I'm going to use a cup of milk, which is that much. That's getting pretty close. Just melt all your butter first before you put the milk in there. And then we're going to bring the milk up again, a bit like how I'm going to do my yeast, and I'll put that in there now too. I'm just going to put in 2 teaspoons of yeast because I'm using 4 cups of flour. So, just need to get a teaspoon. I'm not that organised today. Here we go. So this is the tepid water, neither hot nor cold. 2 teaspoons of yeast. Set that aside. Let it do its job. Butter's now melted. Add in the milk. Right, so the water with the yeast and the milk with the butter are the wet ingredients. If I need any more liquid, I'll just add water to the bread mix when I'm making it. So that'll only be another couple of minutes. Just a little bit of a stir. A lot of people just put yeast in a container and just let it sit there. I just tend to give it a bit of a stir, get it activated, and I shall now just leave that to do its job. This is pretty close. So this is just butter and milk. A cup of milk and about a tablespoon of butter. Okay. We'll come back in about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, maybe even 20, let that yeast do its job. And then we'll get started. Alright, that yeast is, I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's risen quite nicely. And now I'm going to put in 4 cups of flour. 1, 2, 4. Okay. Just going to make a little well there. Just give this a little bit of stir. Add that. I'll just put a little bit of water in here later if I need to add a little bit more moisture I can. Here is the butter and the milk. going in. Now we're going to just stir it around. So bread's not really that complicated to make. A lot of people worry about, oh, I don't know how to do it. Just give it a go, and in time you'll become quite good at it. There's no panic about, oh, I failed. That's okay. Failure is just on the road to success. People who don't try really need to, because what it means is that you've got another skill. Just add a little bit more water. Excuse me. Again, I don't do a lot of kneading on the first process. I like the dough to rise, so I'm going to get my hand in here shortly. Just let it come together. All that milk, butter, yeast, water, they're all combining now. This is a little bit sticky, which is okay. Let's get a little bit more flour. Now we get our hand dirty. So a lot of people at this stage will probably take out the dough and put it on a board. I'm going to do that later. I'm going to let it do its first rise in the bowl, and that will take about, well, it's quite warm today, so it may only take about 40 minutes, but I'll do a still of it probably in about 10 or 15 minutes. You can see how it rises, and then we'll get through the same process again near the end, and then I will tip it out onto a board and roll it out and make the rolls. So I'm doing a little bit of kneading, but I'm not doing a lot, and it's just tacky. If you look at it, you see it's just tacky. It's not too wet, it's not too dry. Okay, we're pretty close. So this method does not take long to do. Okay, what I'm going to do now is just let that do its job. Just going to put just a little bit of moisture. I might even put a bit of oil. This is just a bit of olive oil, not much. Okay, so now I'm going to put the cling film over the top. And we will let this thing do its job. Rough a little bit. Okay, we're going to come back in about 15 or 20 minutes and see what it's done. Alright, the dough has risen. Now it's time to take it out and knead it. Okay, let's put a little flour on top. A little bit on the board. We shall roll this out. Oops. Okay. What I'm going to do now is do a bit of kneading. So I might even put a bit of music on while I'm doing this. Okay, what I'm going to do is just going to halve this. I'm going to halve it again. I'm going to have 4 reasonable sized buns. Some are bigger than the other. I'm also going to actually put a little bit of spray, let's say rice bran oil, sort of a neutral oil, just a bit of spray on the bottom of the pan, a little bit of flour. Just makes it easy to get the actual buns out of the roll. So just a touch more flour. Board. Not going to do too much other than just make the rolls. Just tuck under themselves basically. So that's one. You get, like I say, you can make all sorts of different bread with different ingredients. In regards to, like, you'll see some dried onion, dried shallots I'm going to put on top of these. You can actually use them in the actual dough, and you're going to have onion bread. Now, if you've ever had onion bread, you'll love it. But I always make it with dried onion. This one's not quite the same size as the others, but that's okay. Quite forgiving dough. Okay, about where I want them. Now I'm going to put them in here, and they're going to rise again. When they get near the end, what I will do is actually put a couple of slices. You'll see them expand again shortly. Put a couple of slices through the dough. I'm going to use some of this leftover butter and milk egg wash. I'm going to put it across the top, and they're going to put the cheese, the dried onion and the bacon. So we'll come back in about another 30 minutes and we'll take it up again. Alright, this is about 10 minutes later. What I'm going to do now is just put a few little cuts through the actual dough. Just with a sharp knife. You're going to see why a little bit later, because this is going to actually help hold the cheese, the bacon and the onion. So this is not quite finished doing its second rising yet, which is cool. Not much to it, maybe a couple going that way. But now you've got to give that about another 15-20 minutes to rise, and then I'll add the bits and pieces on top. Alright, they've risen nicely for the second time. Now I'm just going to use that, it's just, I kept a bit of butter in the milk from the original starter that I used for the fluid. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of coating. You can just use water if you want to put on top of your bread or buns. This is just going to give it a bit of colour, along with helping the cheese, the bacon and the dried onions stick on there. So you'll see in a sec. Okay. Of course, by doing this you're slightly lowering the rise on the dough. So after I put the mixture on, I'll leave it for another 2 or 3 minutes before I put it into the oven, which I've now had on for about 5 minutes. So it's preheated, that'll do. Okay. First of all, I'm going to put on the bacon. Let's see, it's just... And any bacon that drops into the pan and cooks is mine, it's spare. Put a bit on each first, make sure I've got enough to go all around, then I'll just top each one up. Something about bacon and cheese. I think if I lived in the wild and all I could catch was pig and have cheese, that would do me. Alright, getting pretty close. Okay, we'll just about do it. Now, I'm sure some of you people would use these, but these are dried shallots or dried onion, and they're crispy, they're crunchy. All I'm going to do is add a little bit of onion to each of the top of these. So it's bacon, cheese and onion. Delicious. This sort of onion dried you can put in through salads, put it into soups or stews, works out beautifully. Alright, now we're just going to put a bit of cheese on all these. You don't need to overdo cheese, like with pizza I don't overdo the amount of cheese on there either. So just a bit on each. So like I say, yeah, if you've never made bread before, you can see it's pretty simple. It's not really complicated, and you will have failures. You will put in too much hot water in your yeast and it won't work, or too cold, but you'll get it right. It just takes practice, and it's a great little skill to have. To give you an idea, for one person, say you're out in the bush by yourself and you thought, how much bread should I make myself a day? Well, a cup, these are big buns, you know, they're going to be a good 5 or 6 inches across. But if you worked on a cup of flour a day for yourself, and let's say today you made 2 buns, well that'll last you a couple of days, so you need 2 cups of flour. Then you can work out what you'll need for the year. And this is just for one person, so 1 cup of flour per day for one person is more than enough bread. Alright, I'm going to give that, because I've just put all that in, I'm just going to give it another couple of minutes just to re-rise just a touch, not much, and then I'm going to put these in the oven, and the next time you see them they should be done. Okay, they are now ready. Like I say, a cup of flour per person per day is more than enough bread, unless you're an enormous bread eater. Okay, let's just get these out of here. See, they're quite big. Just that little bit of flour in the cooking process allows the buns not to stick. The smell is incredible. Let's have a look underneath. Warm still. Let's have a look. You see, that's the sort of noise you want to hear, nice and hollow. So there you go. Give you an idea. So it may not be, you might not be able to see, but that one is 6 and a bit inches by about 5 inches. Alright, I'm going to enjoy some of these right now. So just finishing off, like I say, I want to encourage you all at least to have a go when it comes down to eating fresh food. And I suppose the theory that if your hands are touching your food, you're eating better. In other words, you're not buying things in boxes or ordering the damn thing over the phone. Give bread making a go. These are bacon, cheese and onion rolls. And when they cool down, I'll cut one open. And I'll probably put salad and ham. You know, it'll be good. So if you've enjoyed this episode, go on, make an effort to make some of your own bread or rolls. You will really enjoy the flavour. So thanks for watching, and for now, bye bye.